apparent reality. Seems there is a dual.
Oh, well, no, it's only a description of, it's an attempt to describe in words that which can't be described. So one of the ways to describe the world of the me is to describe it as a separate reality. Because in that separate reality, the me lives in an artificially constructed subject-object reality. So the me just goes on living in duality all the time, in a dualism, which is like a sort of artificial reality. It isn't real. It's not, but for the me it seems to be real. So everything the me looks at is solid and seems to be solid and apart. The natural reality is indescribable.
Okay.
And very ordinary and very simple. It's just very ordinary and very simple. It's just what it is. The separate reality is incredibly complicated and wonderfully meaningless.
So the expression everything is meaningless and there is no evolution, as you say, but apparently forms get more and more complex. I mean, we are no longer in a cave. I mean, we run around with iPhones.
I know, but our knowledge of phenomena is becoming more and more complicated. Our knowledge and our understanding is becoming more complicated. Like any teaching, if you look at any teaching about nothing, like Catholicism or Buddhism, it just becomes more and more complicated. I mean, it's unbelievable. The Catholic religion is unbelievably complicated. Have you ever read that catechism thing? You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And Buddhism has become incredibly complicated because the mind gets hold of, or tries to get hold of something simple, and in order to understand it, it complicates it more and more and more. So the whole world, the whole ridiculous world, I have to say, of the separate me, is just becoming more and more and more and more and more complicated because me is looking for more and more and more and more and more. It's a sort of madness. The actual natural reality is just this. Oh. Oh. It isn't going anywhere. It isn't coming from anywhere. It doesn't need anything because it simply is.
And the conclusion, it doesn't go anywhere. Does it come from the idea that one day everything will explode or implode?
Well, yeah, it'll just implode. The world won't end, in great nuclear wars and disease. It will just suddenly not be there. It's there and it isn't there at the same time. At some point or other, it just won't be there.
So that's why it's not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
And it starts all over again.
Yeah, it's fun. You could say that wholeness has fun. So let's create a world with people, with dinosaurs, and then we could create people on it. We could create people that are seeking themselves or wholeness, seeking me. I will create me seeking me, so that we can have fun and they can build churches and all that. And then they can discover computers, and then they can start Facebook. And by starting Facebook, they can then avoid ever meeting anyone. And then this whole apparent world that we live in is actually going like that. It's moving out away. There's a movement out away from any intimacy or any knowing, out into space. I don't know whether you know, but the stars, out of the initial explosion that was meant to happen 4 billion years ago, the scientists thought that the stars were going outwards, and then naturally, if they're projecting outwards, they would slow down. But actually they've discovered to their alarm that everything is moving out faster and faster. So that's moving out. People are moving away from each other as quickly as they can. Like only twittering and Facebooking each other. More and more people are living on their own. Everything's moving away. It's sort of like that.
Yeah, but the conclusion, there's no sense and no direction, comes from the insight that one day everything will finish. This will not be like it is. It's in constant changing and moving, and one day it will definitely finish.
Yes, but that's on the basis that it's actually happening.
Yes, but that's why there is no direction. If it starts all over again, we never go
Well, it won't really start again because it's not happening. The idea that it's going to finish is the idea that it started. It never started. It is, as I've described, it is nothing being everything at the same time. It didn't start somewhere and will end somewhere. It is timeless. It is only the infinite.
Okay, I was only thinking about our Earth.
Oh, well, our only Earth is also the infinite.